What do you do after a Super Bowl win that nobody thought you would get? We didn't look great in the beginning of that season, but we ended strong. We are still a young team, still have a lot of building to do, a young coaching staff, obviously a new offensive coordinator, still got our same defensive coordinator, but there's still a lot of doubt. A lot of people don't think that the Eagles can go ahead and repeat. I'm going to give you the ways that the Eagles can. So, right along with me. Let's get it.
You want Philly food?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Can the Eagles repeat? That's the question everybody is asking, man. Can the Eagles go out there and start a dynasty? This is a very good team. Like I said earlier, it's a young team. They still have some growing to do. I think that they're growing on the fly. They're learning their coaches what they want, right? And how they want them to play, how they want them to think out there on the field. You look at offensively, I feel like they have an identity. I think that they're just growing on that. Saquon gets another year with Jalen in that offensive line, and now Nick Sirianni. So I feel comfortable with this team, and I think that we have a good shot of going back to the playoffs and possibly even going back to the Super Bowl. But there are going to be things that need to happen in order for that to happen. So that's what we're going to talk about today, and I want to know what you guys think in the comments. What are some things you're looking forward to as far as this season goes? Is it offense? Is it defense? Do you think the defense is going to be as terrorizing as they were, especially towards the end of last year? I would like to know, but I'm going to give you my thoughts. We're going to start with the first one, and that's Jalen Hurts. Look, a lot of people have been talking about Jalen Hurts this offseason. Shout out to Madden. I played the beta. He's not even a top 100 player in the beta, at least. We'll see what happens when it comes to the actual Madden if he's a little bit higher. I know Madden ratings don't necessarily matter, but it just goes in to tell you how much people are doubting Jalen Hurts. A Super Bowl MVP outperformed the Super Bowl MVP when we lost the game against the Chiefs, but he has now outperformed Patrick Mahomes twice in the Super Bowl, has made it twice in the Super Bowl in his short career, and has a Super Bowl MVP under his belt, has All-Pro under his belt, has Pro Bowls under his belt. I don't know what else you need to see from him. I'm getting to the point that, listen, I'm not going to sit here and say he's a top 2 guy, he's a top 3 guy, but if you can't even at least put him in the top 8, you are not talking sense to me. So what do I need from Jalen Hurts? I need Jalen Hurts to continue exactly what he is doing. Continue the path of getting better, of growing with this offense, of leading this offense, of understanding what your role is and why you have to do it in order for the Eagles to keep getting better. Realistically, Jalen Hurts, I can't put a number on what I need to see from him because, and you tell me if I'm bugging, I feel like Jalen Hurts has changed the way I look at players, changed the way I look at stats, to be honest with you. And it's not just because he's an Eagle, but it is because we win. He can put up 100 yards passing and we win. I don't care if he puts up 1,000 yards or 5,000 yards every single season throwing. That's not what we need him to do. That's not what this Eagles team is predicated on right now. We are a run-first team. We are a bash-you-in-the-mouth type team, wear you out. I've heard a lot of people saying the defense is what carried us. The defense does not stay as fresh. The defense does not stay as healthy, as hungry as they were, when your offense isn't continuously on the field. The Eagles have been able to continuously stay on the field, keep that time of possession in their favor. So that starts and ends with Jalen Hurts. Obviously, he's got to hand the ball off, but he's got to make good decisions. And last year, especially towards the end of the year, I feel like he did that. There were some games, it is what it is, there were some games where it looked a little rusty, mainly in the beginning of the season, and you can kind of, mark that off as it was kind of our preseason, but I'm not in the business of making excuses. So I just want to see Jalen Hurts continue the path of greatness, continue to get better, continue to learn. And I think that's probably, I put that first because I think that's the least we have to worry about. That's probably the easiest thing for him to do is just continue to be himself. Now, the second thing I need to see is on the defense. All right, we have a lot of young players. We have a lot of, not just necessarily new players. Obviously, you got Jahad Campbell coming in. You got some young guys that are going to be fighting for spots, but you have a lot of youth, second-year players, third-year players, fourth-year players, guys that are now, Jordan Davis losing a bunch of weight and coming into his contract year. You have a lot of guys that have to prove what they are, right? They have to continue. I don't even say prove what they are because we know what some of these guys are, but they have to prove, that they deserve this next contract, that we can build upon the guys that we have right now. And I think we can. I think that Cooper DeJean is a great start. I think that Quinyon Mitchell is a great start. I think that Reed Blankenship is a guy that maybe at some point in this his career, you're looking for an upgrade, but I think right now he's more than serviceable. Sidney Jones should be interesting. Maybe they go out there and put Andrew out there as a rookie. That should be interesting. Defensive line wise, right? You want to see what Moro Jamo is going to do. What is Jalen Carter going to do? I talked about Jordan Davis. Is Jordan Davis going to take a huge step this year, losing all that weight? Nolan Smith had a tear towards the end of the year. Is that going to keep up? Is that sustainable? There's a lot of questions on this defense, but I think it's all good, right? I'm not sitting here saying, oh, are we going to be able to stop a cold? Are we going to be able to stop anything? I don't think anybody's really that scared of that. I want to see what this pass rush does, right? Jalen Hunt, can you make that next step? Jahad Campbell, can you contribute? Can you contribute to this team? Was Zach Bond just a flash in the pan? These are all questions we're going to have answered realistically in the first 5-6 weeks. We're going to see what this team is. I feel comfortable with this team, and even going to Vic Fangio, obviously his second year here, it's nice to have a guy that's willing to just stay, right? But I think that this is the year that this defense is going to really figure out who they are. Like I said, the offense kind of understands what they are. They have an identity. You've had kind of the core 4 or 5 guys for a long time now, excluding the offensive line. So they kind of understand each other, in my opinion. Defensively, I think that it's still a growing process. Again, we looked amazing in the Super Bowl. It looked great through most of those playoffs. So it's going to be something that we're going to continuously see evolve. And again, I'm not looking to see if this defense is going to be at all good. I'm looking to see if this defense is going to find their core, find the 5 or 6 guys like they did on offense that they're going to build around. So defensively, I'm excited. I think that, to use a term from Sean Desai, who was an absolute failure, I think we're going to feel this defense. I think we're going to know exactly who they are, and I think they're going to speak to us within the first couple of weeks. I think they're going to be very, very dynamic, very, very physical, and just exciting. I really do think that this defense is going to be very exciting moving forward. Now, the third one. All right, this is, maybe I'm bugging here. Maybe I'm a little bit overanalyzing it here. But the third thing I need to, I don't want to say get better or maybe improve a little bit, maybe just a little bit more steady, is our coaching decisions. And that comes down to Nick Sirianni. I love Nick Sirianni. I've been saying it since last year. I don't care about all the antics. I don't care about all that other stuff. I think that he is a great coach. I think that he's a great leader of men. And I think that that's what the Philadelphia Eagles need now. He does need to kind of reel it in a little bit. Now you are a Super Bowl champion. Now everybody's coming for your head. So all that underdog stuff isn't necessarily going to swing anymore. You got to go out there, make good decisions, make well-informed decisions. Don't go with your gut as much, you know what I'm saying? Play a little smarter. I think that the last couple of years, his first couple of years with the Eagles, it was one of those, what do you have to lose type mentalities. And now I feel like you have stuff to lose. You are a Super Bowl champion. You should feel confident in your team making the right decisions, not having to steal a possession here or there. I mean, there's going to be games, right? But not every single time. Let's get Jake Elliott going early in the year, right? Let's get Jake Elliott going early in games. I think that this is time for Nick Sirianni to mature a little bit. And again, I love Nick Sirianni. I think he's a great coach. But time for him to mature a little bit, really understand what his team is, what his job is, what his duty is to this team, and to continue leading these men. I mean, there's not much negatively I can say about this team right now. We are very well built. We have a lot of assets. Shout out to Howie Roseman. We have a lot of things to look forward to in the future. Do I think that this year will be a Super Bowl contending year? I think that we'll take a step back. I think that it's very hard, and we learned this. I think it's very hard for teams to go back to the championship year after year, especially when you look in the NFC East. The NFC East has gotten better alone, right? Washington, I think they're going to take a step back, but they've gotten a little bit better on paper. We'll see what happens with Debo, and we'll see what happens with Marshawn, and if they're able to add somebody to the fold there. The Giants, the Giants. Cowboys, they're looking for revenge. If Dak can stay healthy, I know he's going to want to eat. He's going to want to get this team some wins. Last year was atrocious for them. But then you look throughout the landscape of the NFC East, or the NFC, I should say. It's very good. It's gotten very good. You got a lot of good quarterbacks in this division, in this conference. So you're going to have to go out there and fight. It's going to be tough. Do I think that we'll win a Super Bowl? I'm not betting on it, but I do feel like we could. I feel like there's definitely an opportunity. You got to get hot at the right time, which I think the Eagles understand how to do and have done before. So that's where I'm at. I need those three things or people, I guess, to really get locked down, really get in their zone. And I think the Eagles have a chance of going back to the ship. Now, I know they will make it to the playoffs. I'm not even going to consider that they won't. I think that this is an 11-12 win team at the bare minimum. So you guys let me know what you're thinking in the comments. How do you feel about this team? Because I'm excited. I highly doubt that none of you are. I think we're all excited about what this Eagles team is. So before I get out of here, I do just want to thank God for the opportunity to talk to you guys. Again, I want to thank you all for listening to this. And if you guys enjoyed this, please hit that like and subscribe. I know I've been gone for a while. If you're new here, didn't affect you. If you're not, no, I've been gone for a while. A lot of things going on. I might make a separate video just to kind of tell you what happened. If you guys even want to know, just let me know in the comments. But other than that, y'all know what it is, man. It is Fly Eagles Fly. And we are out here. Peace!
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you.